How do I stop screen recording? How do I stop? All right, so decided to do. What's she doing in my video?
Yeah, I'm gonna be in the back doing
Okay, so I decided to, well, Cameron told me to do this video about what you need to do to get into the UK in terms of visa, COVID, travel regulations, and what that all looks like and what you need to prepare ahead of time. So the first thing that's important to note is where you're coming from, because the UK has the traffic light system of countries. So there's red list countries, amber list, and green list countries, and what you need to do changes depending on what country you're coming from. We came from Vietnam, which is amber list. So what that means is that you had to do a 10-day self-isolation with different tests, and there's options for what you can do to test. So yeah, this is where you can find the information about what list the country you're coming from is on. Here's the lists. Here's an example of the list, and then it gives you the rules, what you have to do beforehand. Obviously, all this is different if you're vaccinated. If you're vaccinated, then it's probably pretty easy. It's, yeah, I don't know, we're not vaccinated, so we had to do this. So if you're unvaccinated, this is what you have to do. Yeah, so you have to do a 10-day self-isolation and testing throughout the isolation. So the standard testing is day 2 and day 8. That's the cheapest. And then if you want to test to release, which is you test on day 5, and then you can leave self-isolation early. You just do day 2 and day 5, and if both are negative, then you're good to go. That one is a little bit more expensive. Doesn't make sense. It's still 2 tests. I don't know. But we decided to just do the day 2 and day 8. If both those tests come back negative within the 10 days, then you can just be out and about as normal. You have to pre-order the tests before you leave, because there's this whole other thing called a passenger locator form that you have to do within 48 hours of arriving to the UK. It's basically just a way they can track where you'll be, how long you'll be staying there, and what test provider you're ordering the test from, so they know where to look for results. So it just tells you what it is, what might be different if you're traveling to other parts of the UK that are not England, and how to submit it online. It's a basically intake form of your passport, your information, your address, where you'll be staying, how to contact you, and they link it to your passport. So when they scan your passport at immigration in different places, it'll be easy for them to pull up all your information. But you have to do it within 48 hours before arriving in the UK, which means you have to pre-order the test so you can put the test information on the passenger locator form. Sounds crazy, but it wasn't so bad. Yeah, so the test, you can get the tests on the UK Gov website. They give a list of all the test providers, the approved test providers, and there are so many. So many. You can just scroll and scroll and scroll. So definitely do some research into what the prices are, and do some looking into the reviews on each provider, because some have not been the best experience for people. And these are all independent companies that you buy from, and they have their own pricing, so you just have to figure out what works for you. And also the way they have it listed is by price or alphabetically, so a lot of people probably just aren't scrolling through all of these. They're just clicking like the first one, and then I've been reading that these companies that are at the tops of the list are getting overloaded with tests and requests, and the performance is not as great because they weren't really equipped to deal with all of these people. So yeah, just look up the companies, do some reviews, maybe scroll to the bottom of the list a little bit, because we did not scroll, and yeah, our test never arrived. I don't know, we've been trying to get the tests kits to arrive. We've called, we've emailed, and there's not been much response. But on the UK Gov website, it says if you If you don't have tests, you can just stay in isolation for 14 days and then you'll be in the clear. So yeah, that's probably what will have to sort of happen. Yeah, so that's what you need to do to get in the country. What happens after that with the test kits is like kind of wild, especially because the big bank holiday with the UK, there's a lot of people traveling, so things got backed up. A lot of people are having trouble receiving their tests or getting the results back. So it's been a little crazy. It seems a little disorganized and not very monitored well. I don't really know. If you're trying to get in through immigration, those are the things you definitely need, is the passenger locator form and the tests. And obviously PCR. You need a PCR test that proves you're negative 72 hours before your flight. So if you're not on an amber list country like we were coming from Vietnam, it's a little bit different. Red list countries, I believe, and these are countries you've been in within the last 10 days. So since we were in Vietnam, within the 10 days before coming to the UK, we would have to do the amber list regulations. If you're in a red list country within the 10 days before coming to the UK, you have to buy a government package quarantine where I think you're in a whole different facility. I don't think you can quarantine at home, and you buy everything. They kind of have it all laid out for you. Yeah, I don't know all the details of that, but we'll put all the information of where to find it in the comments and somewhere in this video. And then green list is obviously easier. You think it's like a shorter quarantine and less testing, like maybe just a day 2 test or something. I don't know. We've heard different experiences with everyone's self-isolation. Some people, like I said, are having trouble with getting the tests and getting the results. We haven't gotten a call from the NHS. I think that's usually how they check in on you. I've heard a lot of people say they just get a call being like, hey, are you home? And you can be like, yep, I'm home. And they're like, cool, stay home. And that's all they've had. So it doesn't seem to be enforced that strictly, but I think they are getting a bit stricter. But yeah, I can't speak to the validity of that. It hasn't been so bad. I mean, this is a pretty good place to be self-isolated in, and just in terms of the ability to get groceries delivered and like at any type of day. There's obviously, it's totally different. We're still in a culture shock from Vietnam to the UK, just the accessibility of all this stuff. So yeah, it's pretty easy to get groceries delivered, get food delivered, a lot of different things delivered. And luckily where we're staying in our Airbnb has a lot of space, has a nice outdoor area. We don't feel too confined. We have gone out a little bit just for the necessary items. So if you have anything to add or any questions, let us know in the comments down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. We'll do another one soon about, what are we doing it about? Yeah, the culture shock, like, and it's not crazy, but it is like a little weird.
My stomach hurts.
Veggie burgers and milkshakes again. Yeah, like just different things, like how it is coming from a Southeast Asian country in the middle of a lockdown to a more westernized country that's like totally different. So we'll do a video on that. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. Give it 2 thumbs down. Let us know why. See you next time.